Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? Y'all listen. Okay, so today I have nothing to do, right? It was nothing to watch, nothing was on TV. So I was just scrolling. I was like, I like psychological thrillers, right? So let me just scroll, see what I can find. Come across this movie called Asunder. I saw Blair Underwood, so I was like, ooh, but I know this gonna be good because it got Blair Underwood in it. Then we had Debbie Morgan and Michael Beach. I was like, I think this might be good. This might be good. Because my grandma, she loves some Debbie Morgan. Her and those pretty dimples, honey. So I was like, what? I'm going to check it out. It's from 1999. I don't care. I'm still going to watch it. So the movie opens at a fair. You see this man taking pics of everybody. Then he zooms in on this woman. And she starts making all these sexy poses. And she giggles. And then she walks off. Then he starts taking pics of this guy who is standing near that lady. And he turns around and says, come on, Chance, man. Enough with all these pics, all that old paparazzi stuff. Then this same guy with the camera, he turns around. There's a pregnant woman coming out of a porta potty. So he starts taking pics of her. He walks up to her, hugs her, and tells her, you got to glow, mama, and kisses her on the belly. So I was like, okay, this must be his wife. But who was the other lady that was making the sexy poses? Child. The other lady, her name is Lauren, and she is married to the guy who told Chance to stop taking all the pictures. So there is Lauren and Michael, played by Debbie Morgan and Michael Beach. And then there's Roberta and Chance, played by Blair Underwood and Marva Hicks. So now they're over by this ring toss. Michael, he losing, but he keep wanting to play as folks for $10. Lauren is getting tired of him. He is getting on her nerves. She's like, here go the $2. Just hurry up. I am hungry. I am ready to go home. So he like, oh, here she goes. So she pulled him to the side and she tells him, look, I am ready to go. I am hungry. So, everybody, they ready to leave. So the lady who is the wife to Blair Underwood's character, Roberta, she takes the rings and she just throw them behind her like, come on, y'all, let's go. So as they're walking, they stop. They're trying to figure out what they're going to eat. So the attendant from the ring toss thing, he said, I've been looking for y'all everywhere here. So he gives them this big stuffed animal. And it was like, what this for? And he was like, you want it. And then Chance, he reaches over toward Lauren and just gently strokes her face and says, congratulations, girl. And I'm looking like, y'all a little too friendly for me, baby. So they're like, come on, let's go get something to eat. But Michael, he wants to get on another ride. So he tells Roberta, you got to choose. You the one that brought us out here and you haven't gotten on anything. So she decides that she want to get on the Ferris wheel. Michael, he complaining because he like, this is a boring ride. This we got to get on. So he get on it anyway. So as the ride operator is locking them in, Chance's shirt gets caught in the lock, but nobody noticed it. So the Ferris wheel starts going. Michael starts playing, rocking back and forth in the seat. I was, ooh, this so scary. We so high. And his wife, Lauren's like, come on, stop, Michael, stop. He yells up to Chance and says, come on, bro, come on. So he was like, man, I ain't gonna do that. But he started doing it. So he rocking back and forth too. And his wife, the pregnant lady, she was like, stop, don't do that. So he stopped and he said, here we go again. And this time he pushed it forward kind of hard. And the gate swung open, y'all. He done slid down, but he was able to catch himself. He's yelling to his wife, just sit back. But she can't hold on much longer. And she fell. The Ferris wheel starts moving a little bit, and Chance, he don't want to hold on any longer, so he just let go, and he fell and hurt his leg. So the next scene, we see them rushing into the hospital, and it was like, get out the way, calling for all these IVs and all. They was like, sir, you got to get out of here. You can't be in here. He like, that's my wife. They was like, just get out the way. So they working. Some time passed. Then the doctor comes out and she's like, I'm sorry, we couldn't save them. We lost both of them. He's like, what about the baby? She said, we couldn't save the baby. The baby was just was premature and it was too much damage. He just starts screaming. He just fall on the floor. So Laura, she grabs him and just hold him. Michael patting him and he just like broken. Michael walks over to the admissions desk and he's like, it was my fault. If I just would have left when everybody wanted to leave and not wanted to get on another ride, we wouldn't be here right now. So next is the funeral. So you have the funeral and the burial, and then the limousine brings them back to the house. So Michael invited Chance to stay with them, to his head, to his leg heals, until he can kind of get back to himself. So he helps him get settled in. And Lauren, she's downstairs preparing dinner, and she asks him, how's he doing and everything. And Michael said he's putting up a front, like he's okay. And then Michael said he really loved her. He wanted that kid. They both wanted that kid. And Lauren was like, yeah, they both wanted that kid. They wanted that baby. And what are you talking about? Are you still talking about them? Or are you trying to say something else? Michael says, forget it. Then his pager goes off. And he says that, he got to go to work. But Laura, she was under the impression that he took off. But he was like, no, I said I was taking off. I'm taking half a days. And she was like, well, why am I taking off? I thought that we were in this together. And she tells Mike, so Mike, he's like, he really didn't want to hear. He started walking out. She said, you are so self-involved. The man just lost his wife and baby. And you on your way to work? Then Michael claps back with, well, I guess I can relate. And she says, we never had a child to lose. She told him, don't do that mess. Don't do this. But you know what? Just go on to work. Michael was like, nah, you trying to make a point, right? Just make it. I told you I can relate. First, you said you needed space from our marriage. So to me, that was losing my wife. Then you won't have my baby. Lauren said, I told you I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to have a baby. So Michael asked her, right now or ever? She says, in time, Michael, in time. He says, well, I guess you're the only one who decides when that time is. And he walks off. The whole time, they down there going back and forth. Chance is watching them from the window. So Lauren she goes to sit on the deck. Chance is inside on the couch. He dozing off. And he has this weird dream about what happened, about them being at the fair. And then he sees his wife standing up in the hospital hallway in this hospital gown. But then it flashes, and then it's Lauren in the hospital gown. But the phone rings, and that wakes him up. It's Michael. And he asked, where's Lauren? Chance, he all groggy. He said, I don't think she here. I think she outside. Like, you want me to go get her? And he was like, nah, it's probably just going to be more complaining or more talking about stuff I'm not doing right. So Chance like, okay, is there anything I can do? Michael jokes, and he says, you can go wrap your hands around her neck and squeeze a little sense into her. And Chance says, considering all you've done for me, that's the least I can do. And he slams the phone down. And Michael looked at the phone like, what was that about? So then Chance, he walks out on the deck, and he looking like he could do what the man said, but he just scared her, and she's smoking a cigarette. So he was like, what are you doing with that? I thought you quit. And she was like, I only do this when I'm trying to get back at Michael. And Chance said, well, that would work if he was here, but he's not here. So he took the cigarette from her and threw it over the balcony. So he tells Lauren, I don't blame you for hating me. She says, I don't hate you. I hate the situation. And I hate myself for letting passion overtake my responsibility to my marriage. I hurt every time I think about Roberta and how I betrayed her. Then she said she wanted to tell Michael the truth, but she knew that it'll destroy him and it'll destroy their marriage. The next scene, Michael makes it home. Lauren, she's in their sleep. He wakes her up. They apologize. Then, they start making up in the grown way. Chance, he's standing outside the door. He just watch a little bit. Then he gently, closes the door. So the next scene, you have Michael and Chance. They in the car, but they stuck in traffic because of construction. And then Michael, he starts to apologize again for what happened. That if he hadn't insisted on another ride, that things would be different. And Chance says, "And look, Mike, just let it go. I thought this was fit to be like old times. We just out together, just hanging out, just kicking it. Like I really don't want to talk about that." And Michael was like, "You know what? I understand. We're not gonna talk about it." So they get through the traffic, and where they went to was to Chance's home. And as soon as Michael gets out the car, he feels like this was a bad decision. So he tells Chance, "You know what? I'll go. Tell me what you need. I'll go in there and get it, and we can leave." And Chance's like, "No, it's okay. Let's just go in." So they go in. The first room he stopped at is the nursery. I was like, "Oh my gosh, why did they come here?" So Michael, he's getting very uncomfortable. And then Chance goes to his bedroom, and Michael stops him like, "Look, I don't think we should do this. Just tell me what you need." He was like, "Just leave me alone. I got this. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute." So Chance goes in his room. He closes the door. On the bed is his wife's nightie. He picks it up. He smells it. He just holds it close to him. And you can hear Michael outside the door saying, "Chance, mate, look, if you need something, just tell me what you need. I can take you back home. Just tell me what you need. I can get it." He was like, "Just give me a minute, man. Just give me a minute." But Michael still insisting on like, "Let's leave. I can do this for you." Baby, Chance then got so heated. He done hopped up out that bed and he just snatched Michael into the room and just started wailing on that mic. He was like, Chance, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? He did Chance is about to choke this man out. And he was like, "It's not gonna help. It's not going to help make the pain go away. Just because you're trying to help me, it's not going to change things." So after that, they head back to Michael's house. And when Laura sees his face, she's like, "What happened to you?" But Michael, he don't respond or nothing. He go one way, Chance go the other way. So she follows Michael to find out what happened. And Michael said that he's worried about Chance. He tells her, "You don't know Chance the way I know Chance. He has a very dark side. But when Roberta came into his life, that really calmed him down." So Laura suggested that they should get him some help. And Michael says he blames me for what happened. And I don't believe he's wrong. And she says, Chance doesn't believe that. And Michael says the bottom line is his best friend's wife and child are DEAD. And he has to deal with it. And then he stormed out the house. So now Lauren, in the next scene, Lauren and Chance, they're at the lawyer's office. And the lawyer basically tells them that the owners of the fair said that they not taking any responsibility because y'all was up there playing, acting like little kids, rocking back and forth in those seats. But they did offer a settlement, and I think you need to think about it. He said, "So what do you want to do?" Chance don't say nothing. So the lawyer says, "Look, I'm going to give y'all a minute to talk about this and I'll be back." So when he walked out, Laura lets him know that it was your family. This is your decision. What do you want to do? He said, "You know what I want to do? I want to get up out of here." She's like, "Okay, then let's go." So they leave and they end up going to an art fair. So while they're at the art fair, they go to this guy who's drawing caricatures. And so he was like, step in a little closer, act like y'all know each other. And she uncomfortable. He was like, "You know what? As a matter of fact, sit on his lap. That'll make it better." And she's like, "I don't like this." And that's because while she's sitting there, Chance's little man is trying to get to the point, if you know what I mean. So she gets so uncomfortable that she get up and she's like, "Oh, are you about finished?" And she look at the drawing and he's like, almost. Then Chance gets up and the guy asks, "Are y'all married?" And Laura says, "No." And he's like, "Man, what you waiting on? What you waiting on?" He said, "Well, I gotta get rid of her husband first." And dudes look like, "Dang, I'm sorry I asked because I wasn't expecting you to say that." But when you look at Chance and Lauren together, they have way more chemistry than Lauren and Michael. It's crazy. So then they go for a walk down by the lake. They do a little talking, sit in the swing together, watch the sunset, but they sit pretty close. And Lauren's like, I don't think friends sit like this. He was like, we just keeping each other warm. And then they lean in to kiss, but then Lauren, she turns her head. And he was like, how do you do that? How do you turn away from me? Now, when they get back to the house, it's dark. And Michael, he's sitting in the dark. I was like, what is he doing? So Michael, he's like, do y'all want to tell me what the heck is going on? And Lauren asked, they both of them squinting, trying to figure out what is he doing. And Lauren asked him, why was he sitting in the dark? And Michael says it only seems appropriate since I'm always in the dark about so many other things. But I think I'm starting to see the light. She told Michael that they went to the attorney's office, then they went out to celebrate because he's going to get a settlement. And Michael says, you know what? That's real good, buddy. Now walk back to that attorney's office, get your check, and get the heck up out of my house. And Laura looked like, what is going on? And Chance like, but he right. It's time for me to move out. And Lauren says, not like this. We've all been through too much for it to end like this. So she goes to talk to Michael. You know, she wants to know what was the problem. Michael says, you need to tell me what's up. You come in all late, smiling and laughing. And she's like, I told you we went to the attorney's office. Then we went to celebrate. We went to an arts fair. Now she's still holding that picture that the guy drew. And he took the picture and he opened. He's like, what the heck is this? Because the way the guy drew the picture, he got both of their heads together. And she's like, it's a sketch. He said, no, this way more than a sketch. He's like, I need you to tell me what's up. So Lauren, she wants Michael to keep his voice down because Chance, he right downstairs. So she tries to close the bedroom door, but Michael opens it and screams downstairs that I want you out of my house. So, Lauren, she really wants to know what's going on now. And she reminded him that you the one who invited him to stay. And Michael says, but pleasing my wife, that wasn't a part of the deal. She says, are you accusing me of having an affair? You? Out of all people? Then Michael said, Roberta came to me because she thought Chance was having an affair. And I was like, nah, not Chance. If he was having an affair, I would have known about it. And Lauren asked me, what are you talking about? And he was like, he saw how she just looked so nervous in her face. He was like, oh my God, was it you? Baby, Lauren hauled off and smacked that man so hard. And he was like, I hope that means no. And he just walked out the room. So after he left, Lauren left and went over to Chance's studio. Y'all, why this man got this huge mural of pictures of Lauren all over the wall. So she tells him that Michael is suspicious and that they can't do that anymore. And he was like, well, how can he be suspicious? He don't know nothing about the termination. I said, the termination? Y'all had an affair and all the way to the point that she got pregnant? This is crazy. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So, he getting all close to her. She can't resist them, y'all. So they end up doing the grown folks thing again. She sneaks away and go back to the house. She wake up. She at home. She wake up. But Michael, he stayed at the office. So that's where he waking up and getting himself together at, right? So she goes in to take a bubble bath. But guess, you already know, Chance, baby. Chance then snuck his crazy tail up in the bathroom. And he grabs her undies and just smell them and then tries to walk out quietly. But then the floor creaks. And she sit up. She's like, Michael, is that you? Michael? But nobody says anything. So she gets out the tub, puts her robe on. She walking. She looking around because she don't know what's going on. And as she approached the door, that's when Michael comes in. She's like, oh, Michael. And he was like, what's wrong? Are you okay? And she's like, yeah. She just looks so nervous. And he tells her, look, I came back. Now, I can either pack a bag and walk away forever, or I can try to work on this marriage. And he says, so I'm choosing to stay and work on this marriage. What do you want to do? And she says, I want this marriage. So, of course, they go in the room, and there's some more grown folk stuff going on. So after they finish having their little quality time, he heads back to work. They kiss. He walk out the house. She closed the door. Baby, why Chance then walked around the corner? And he tells her he needs to know. And he wants her to tell him. But she is telling him, you need to leave. That you need to get up out of here. Baby, why he trying to push up on the lady again? But this time, she able to resist. And she tells him, you need to leave. So next we see Lauren and Michael. They starting to work, on rebuilding their marriage. And then Chance starts following Lauren. And then he starts following both of them. So one day, not following them and taking pictures. So one day, Michael, he's leaving work. And this girl pulls up, and it's his ex-mistress. Then they get to talking. He tell her about, the time that they were together. They show him that he really cared about his marriage and he was working things out. And she said, I thought an affair was supposed to break up a marriage, not help it. And they start giggling, and she leans in to kiss him, and Chance started taking more pictures. I said, you sent that girl over there. Because that girl came out of the blue. So you had a part in sending that girl over there. So then we get to Lauren's office, and her assistant bring her some flowers and this envelope. And she said, well, this came with the flowers. So when she opens it, it's the pictures of Michael and the ex-mistress looking like they were kissing. So she gets sick to her stomach. She about to pass out. The assistant like, what is wrong? You okay? She said, I don't know. I just got lightheaded. I just feel sick. So she's like, I'm calling the doctor. She said, I don't need to go to the doctor. She said, did I ask you what you need? I am calling the doctor. So she get to the doctor do what they do, and said, well, congratulations. It usually be like this when you're pregnant. She said, pregnant? She said, yeah, you're about 6 to 8 weeks. I said, baby, you pregnant? But who are you pregnant by? That's the question. So Lauren, she calls and tells Michael the good news. So she happy. She get on the elevator. The elevator starts to close, but then somebody stick their hands in. Here go, baby. Chance is popping up like Candyman. Why won't you go somewhere and sit down? So he runs in. He says, this is one of life's most special moments, isn't it? He snatches her by the head and says, are you sure this time? Are you sure that it's Michael's child this time that you carrying? And she's like, I found out that I was already pregnant when we were together in the loft. Baby, this man started taking about 100 pictures of that lady. Talking about, this is divinity. You're pregnant because I lost Roberta and my child. Then the elevator door opens, and this man comes in. She runs out, and he looking like, I ain't seen nothing. I don't even know what's going on. So then Chance gonna say, women. Then he takes off after Lauren. I was like, why won't he leave that lady alone? Leave her alone. Then he running behind her talking about, we're a family now. So what are you going to do about your husband? And she's telling him, if this had any chance of being your child, I'll get rid of it. Chance told that lady, I'm watching you. Everything you do, I'm watching you. This conversation ain't over. You better go home and think about what you're going to tell Michael. Because you effing with my family. He is hitting on the car, kicking on the car, everything. I'm like, this man is just don't care that he out in public. So she speeds off, and he's just looking around. I said, baby, listen. One thing Blair Underwood gonna do, if he don't do nothing else, is play a fool. That might, sometimes make me feel like, he like that for real? Because he be playing these parts too well. So Lauren, she pulls over to call the police to report a stalker. But baby, they ask her so many questions. She's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Forget it. Then we get a scene with Chance at the cemetery. And he's talking all this the future, saying it's time to let go and say goodbye. Then he throws his wedding ring towards Roberta's grave and says, "I need you, Lauren." I was like, "Lauren, girl, you need to get you some security." So, Lauren and Michael, they having a candlelit dinner, and he tells her about, seeing the mistress. He tells her everything that happened because he said he is not trying to keep any secrets. So then they have a little bit more adult time, and then they fall asleep. So Lauren, she feels somebody rubbing on her, and she thinks it's Michael. But baby, that hand belonged to Chance. Then he puts this leg thrower under Michael's chin and say, "You need to tell him about us." And Michael like, "What are you talking about? Tell me what?" And Chance stands up, baby, and cock that lead thrower, honey. And it was like, "Don't do that, don't do that." And it go off. But she wake up because she was having a nightmare. I was like, now why the heck would y'all do that? Y'all had me thinking that fool had came back. So then we see this montage. They going through, all the months of Michael and Lauren. They enjoying themselves. They're happy. She's getting bigger. It gets to the holidays. So it's Christmas. They outside this mall looking at Christmas cards, making jokes. But then when she look up, she see Chance and she just staring. Then Michael sees him, so they go in, say hey. He was like, "Long time no see. Y'all looking good." He was like, "We need to get together like old times." He said, "Do y'all still have your annual Christmas party?" They really wanted to say no, but they said yes. He said, "Well, you know what? I'm going to stop by." So he give Michael a hug. He leaned in and give Lauren a hug. But when he hugged her, he said, "How our baby doing?" I said, "Baby, Nah, we would have canceled that Christmas party, baby." So now it's time for the Christmas party. And then Chance walks in looking crazier than ever, and he starts taking pics, and that startled Lauren, and I think she dropped her drink or something. And so Michael decides to end the party early, so everybody left, but Lauren, she hears somebody on the couch, and then she gets closer. This person pop up. It's her assistant, Vanessa. Child, she's sloppy drunk. So Michael decides that he's going to take Vanessa home because she rode with another guy, but baby, he left with somebody else. And so he said, "I'm going to take her home." And I'm like, "And I'm going with you because, baby, I'm not staying here. Did you not just see Chance come over here? Do you think I'm going to take a chance and stay at this house and figure out what he going to do?" I would have been right in that car with my husband and Vanessa. "No, ma'am, I'm not staying here." So as they're driving, Vanessa asked him, was Chance still living with them? And he was like, "No, he just stopped by for the Christmas party. I didn't even see him leave." And Vanessa was like, "Because he didn't." And you could see the fear just run through Michael's body. So it goes back to Lauren. She in the kitchen. She about to pour a glass of wine. She like, "The doctor said one drink it'll be all right." Baby, Chance snatched that drink up out of her hand and said, "Anybody ever tell you that drinking while pregnant is not a good thing?" Then he takes off his belt. The man took off his belt, y'all, and hit that light on her hand, talking about, "You trying to hurt my child? I thought I taught you better than that." He said, "You have to stop lying to yourself." And she tells him again, "This is not your child." And he screams at that lady like, "Liar, liar." I said, "Ooh, baby, that sounds very familiar, if y'all know what I mean." So he said, "We were always meant to be together." And he tries to force a kiss on her. Then he bends down, hugging her belly, kissing all this, talking about, "You got to tell Michael about the termination." And when he stand up, she spit in his face. That might smack the mess out of that lady. And she fell on the ground. She cried. He get down there. He's like, "I'm sorry, sorry." By this time, Michael then ran through the door, and he see them on the ground. He's like, "What happened? You okay? What happened? What happened?" She said that she slips on some wine and hit her face on the counter. And she's like, "Thank goodness that, trying to play it off. Thank goodness that Chance was here." So Michael, he like, "You know what? I'm going to take care of you. Can you take Vanessa home?" And Chance said that he called a cab. And Michael give him the keys, say, "Look, here are the keys. Take her home. I'll come and get my car in the morning." So Chance is on his way to take Vanessa home, but baby, she's so drunk she done threw up in the car. So he take her on to his house. He cleaned her up. She wake up in the morning. She's like, "Oh my gosh, where am I? I hope I remember this person." Then she realized that she's still with Chance. So she flirting with him and everything, ask him do he like what he see, all this and that. And then, she pushing up on him. they kind of started doing some ground for stuff. But baby, while she all into it, Chance then reached behind him in the drawer and pulled out a knife, and you already know what he did with it. So now Michael then pulled up at the house, because he had to come and get his car. So he tells Chance, I don't know if you think I'm blind or crazy, but we no longer brothers. And he tells him to stay away from his wife and stay away from his kid. He said, well, where my keys at? So Chance is going over to the table to get his keys, but he see that knife too, and he put it, on behind his back. And I was like, oh my gosh, Michael, get out of there. So he got the keys and he left. I thought Chance was gonna shank that man. I really did. But he let him go. So he started screaming and everything. I was like, whew, okay, well, at least he got out of there. But as he's driving, he hears this commercial come on about a jewelry sale, because Michael had just left the jewelry shop getting a present for Lauren, but it was in that jacket pocket. So he turns around to go back to Chance's to get his jacket. So he walk in, he's like, hey Chance, I left my jacket. Now me, I would have got the jacket and left. I'm not gonna stay around. But Michael, he want to be all adventurous and stuff and looking around. So he sees that the red light is on in the what you call that little room where they develop the pictures, that little room. So he see that the red light is on. He go in, he see that Chance had all these pictures of Lauren. He sees pictures of Vanessa, but Vanessa, it don't look right. He's like, oh, he into some weird stuff. And then he see this like plastic draping, and he looked behind the child Vanessa back there. He done wrapped the lady up in plastic. But Lauren, she at home with her cousin and his wife. They just laughing and talking, but she hear a knock at the door. She go to the door. Chance is over there again, trying to choke the lady. She push him out. She screams. She's like, get out of here. Then the cousin comes. She says, it's a man that I need you to get rid of. So the cousin, he grabbed a golf club. He was like, okay, I got him. I'm going to take care of it. So he called himself creeping outside, baby. Chance didn't handle him. So you hear a knock again, and the wife was like, I told you everything is going to be okay. But when they opened the door, baby, that man fell down in there, gone. And the wife, she screaming. She's like, oh my gosh. Baby, Chance then took the club from the dude and then hit the wife in the face. I said, this man is crazy. If y'all don't find a way to get up out of there, I don't know what else to tell you. So now he going after Lauren. She grabbed a poker, and I'm like, Lauren, girl, I hope you know how to use it. But of course she did, because Chance snatched her right on out of her hand, like she gave it to him or something. Lauren, she runs upstairs. She locked herself in the bedroom, but Chance kicked through that door. And she fumbled around in her drawer on the side table. The whole drawer fall out. Her Nina fall out. And she picked it up. She said, don't think I won't use this. And Chance walked up to her. He said, you won't, because it ain't got no clip in it. I was like, dang it, Lauren. So then she runs into the bathroom she trying to manipulate him, saying, how you gonna end me? What about our baby? He was like, our baby? And she said, yes, what about our baby? He then took her and rammed her head into the mirror, and she then fell against the tub, almost knocked herself out. I was like, oh my goodness. And he was about to shank her, but then Michael came in. He grabbed it, but he got stuck with it. So now they tussling. But then Lauren gets up. She gets the Nina right. And she was like, well, I bet you this time I didn't forget the clip. And baby, she let loose and sent him flying over that banister. I was like, oh my gosh. And when he was running up the stairs, it was a picture of all of them together. He had threw that over the banister. So when he fell right beside that picture. I was like, this is crazy. And that's how it went off, y'all. I said, nah, if you knew that your friend had all these issues, why didn't you try to get him some help after the funeral? What were you thinking? He needed help. And then you trusted this man in that state of mind around your wife? Are you crazy? Oh my god, that was so crazy. And then another thing was that when she went to meet Chance at his studio to tell him that Michael is suspicious, we got to stop all this. As she's pulling up to the studio, there's a billboard above the studio, and it has the Matthew 19:6. And you know that Matthew 19:6 says, so then there are no longer two but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate. I said, this is oh my gosh. So it was like a foreshadowing. Like, we not finna let you separate us. I don't care how crazy you are. We finna end this, and I'm not playing with you. Baby, they sent Po Chance right on with Roberta. Have y'all ever seen Asunder? Y'all tell me. Get down in the comments. Tell me if you ever seen it. And let's talk about it. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.